How's it going, everybody? It's PMdre from PMdre Fitness, back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about muscular imbalances. So this tends to happen when, again, you just do not have a training program that allows you to actually work all your muscles that you have on your body efficiently. So I see this all the time in the gym where a lot of people actually want to bring up lagging body parts. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't mean that, here's a good example where you should hit your chest 4 times a week and only hit your back once a week. It's really not a good idea, because not only do you ruin your posture, you also tend to actually lose, I guess we can call it, lose the activation or the stimulus or even gains that you could be making in your back at the same time. Another issue what tends to happen is that a lot of people tend to actually start suffering shoulder pain, because a lot of times when you're using the bench press, and if you're benching religiously and you're not really incorporating any lat or back exercises, you'll notice you'll start to concave and your shoulders will start coming in inwards. That's the last thing that you want to do, especially when you're on the bench press or even if you're doing a dumbbell press. The most important thing is retracting your scapula, keeping those lats right on the pad, shoulder blades together, and just crank those weights out when you're doing the bench press. And in order to get really good activation as far as retracting, you have to make sure that you're doing a good amount of pull exercises as well, as far as working your back and building that mind-muscle connection so you can keep everything together. So this is why I always say, if you have a muscular imbalance, that is fine. Just add maybe another exercise or maybe 3-4 sets on that particular body part that you want to bring up. But there's no reason that you should be, say, training your chest 80% of the time and your back 20% of the time. Another one that usually tends to happen is with legs. So for example, I know the first thing that people see with your legs are your quads. So a lot of people tend to just focus a lot on doing squats, maybe the hack squat, the leg press. And then in most cases, hamstrings get rejected, or they just do not get enough attention. They do act and they do activate as secondary muscles during certain exercises, but you do also have to target them directly as well. So exercises that could be used, which is I can honestly say is not even used enough, or stuff like the stiff leg deadlifts, and even maybe the seated leg curl machine. Like things like that will help you bring up your hamstrings and your quads. And the same thing goes for your calves, just to ensure that, again, you're not gonna have an imbalance, because it's so important. So a lot of people will say, well, you know what, I've been squatting for this amount of time. They have good quad development, looks really good, they got the teardrop and everything. But then they say, well, you know what, when I squat, I lean forward too much, or my knees hurt. Like, just think about that for 1 second. Your knees hurt, you lean forward too much. Again, quad dominance, because it's very important for you to have good hip mobility and use your hamstrings to actually take some of that pressure instead of leaning forward all the time while you're doing it. Also, another consideration could be taken as far as your form and so on. But it's always important to make sure you're training your muscles all together as a unit, focusing on compound movements. And then maybe you want to add some accessories or some secondary movements that you can use as far as, hey, making sure that you're having a well-rounded physique and a well-rounded program. So I just wanted to emphasize this again, because I see it all the time, and I just want to let you guys know that you do not want to go in that direction where you have one body part that's a lot bigger than the other, because not only is it not that aesthetically pleasing, you also put yourself at risk of hurting yourself. And especially for your upper body, again, whether you want to have a big chest or a big back, I talk about this with some of my friends in the gym, you're actually better off having a bigger back or a stronger back or a more well-developed back than a chest. Because honestly, when you really think about it, there's so many things in your daily life where you're constantly using movements while you're pressing, or you may be leaning forward, but at least when you're working your back, you're pulling, keeping everything together. So that will help you as far as retracting your scapula on exercises, also keeping your back straight, building your back firm, And also it just looks pretty, you know, it looks like pretty tough when, you know, you got a good posture and your back, you just look good in general. When you just have like a chest and you're just hitting mainly your chest and not no back, you're just kind of walking around like this in the gym, and that doesn't look good. But I'm finished with my rant. Thank you for watching PMdre Sunday Lectures. And you know what we do here on the PMdre Fitness channel. Don't forget to share. That's right. Tell everybody that you know, that I don't know, that you watch my channel. Like, that's right, like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video and you want to see more, then subscribe to my channel. And I'll catch y'all later.